Station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, this is Station. I am ready.
Canadian Space Agency, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check. Canadian Space Agency, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Good morning, station. This is Canadian Space Agency astronaut Joshua Kucherick here in Vancouver. Hello, David. How do you hear us?
Hey, Josh. I hear you loud and clear. I'm ready to speak with you.
Okay, so we hear you loud and clear. It's wonderful to see you and to talk to you. I haven't seen you in 2 months. I hear things are going well. I hope they're going well. There's 3 of you in that giant station right now. How's the mission going, and how are you enjoying all the extra space?
Yeah, it's a busy time, of course, because we have to take care of this big station. And there's only 3 of us, but that means that we can do things our own way. So there's some nice aspects to it. And of course, the views are incredible, and one day you will see those views too, Josh. Every time I swing by the cupola and I can look at the Earth, it just blows me away.
Okay. Well, we're very fortunate to have you on the line. Thank you for taking the time, David. And I think we'll cut straight to the program. So you know what we're doing. We're launching the AstroPie Challenge here in Canada, the coding challenge for young people in different countries of the world, including ours. And I'm here in Vancouver at the Lord Selkirk Elementary School with a whole bunch of people who are absolutely fascinated and excited by the work that you're doing on the station right now. And I have a whole lineup of children with some questions to ask you. The first question I'm going to ask on behalf of someone, it comes from Sam, who lives in Quebec but isn't here with us this morning. And his question to you, David, is what is the thing that you miss the most about Earth?
Well, it's the people that I love that I had to leave behind, of course, that I miss. Everything is amazing here, but, you know, every day I miss my family, I miss my friends. I know I will see them again, and I will have nice stories for them, but I wish I could bring them here.
Thank you for the answer. I think I could do that with this microphone in my hand, but I'm going to try that later. And we're going to go to questions. So here's your first question from one of our students here, David. I'm going to hand him, I'll hold the mic for you. How about that? And just go nice and loud.
Bonjour, Captain.
Hello, Captain. My name is Owen, and I'm in 5th grade. And my question is, do astronauts need to know how to code?
Bonjour, Owen.
Hello, Owen. Yes, all the astronauts know how to code because most of them have studied how to code. And it's very useful because we have to use computers, and when you know how to code, you know how computers work, and that helps us avoid mistakes or help fix the computers. So yeah, everybody has to know how to code.
Elsie.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. We have our second question on the way, right here.
Bonjour, je suis Rhys.
Hello, my name is Rhys, and I'm in 7th grade. And my question is, why is it important for children to learn how to code? It's an important question, Reese, because computers are everywhere in the life, in our computers, soon in our fridge, in our fridges. So in your generation, everything will have a computer inside. And so it's important to know how to code, to be the master of these machines. And when you know how to code, you know how to analyze, think analytically, and work with complicated machines. So it's very important for young people to learn how to code, and be comfortable with computers because they're part of our life, especially with the development of artificial intelligence. It's going to be more and more important in our life. Hello, my name is Christina, and I'm in 7th grade. I want to know, how long did it take your body to adjust to microgravity? Christina, it took a few weeks before I was comfortable. At first, my head was kind of so swollen because if you hang like this from the ceiling, here, now it doesn't make any difference. But when I first arrived, I was always congested. But now I can be anyway. It doesn't bother me. And I've learned how to keep to hold of things. Like I can leave the microphone floating, but I could lose it. So you have to tie them down so you get used physically and mentally. Another point is that you lose the sense of orientation because you don't know what time it is. We see the sunrise 16 times and the sunset 16 times, so it takes a while to get used to it.
How does the research in space help prepare to send humans for a journey to Mars and beyond?
The research we do here is mainly about how does our body adapt to live in space and live in microgravity and live in the environment of space. And that way we can be ready to go further. Here, it's a bit as if we were camping in our backyard. We're not very far from Earth. We can see Earth very easily. But when we are ready, then we will go to a real mountain. So in our case, we're going to Mars when we're ready to leave Earth, because when we go to Mars, we'll need to be going for several years. Right now, we're not ready to do that because all the machines that are around us that keep me alive here, keep the air, keep the water, keep the temperature, so often they break and we need to fix them, and we need to have stuff that's very, very reliable. So we do a lot of research on technology to keep people alive, a lot of research on technology to cure diseases that happen to astronauts on orbit. That also helps us on Earth. And also a lot of research on the energy we need to go to Mars.
Does the International Space Station shrink and expand in space to accommodate temperature extremes?
Very good question. Yeah, as you know, the part of station that's in the sunshine gets very, very warm, and the part that's in the shadow gets very, very cold, and that changes all the time. So, but the engineers who designed the space station were very smart, and they used special materials and combinations of material that for which it doesn't matter these big changes of temperature. And thanks to that, station does not deform much. But it was a very important factor in the design of the space station.
What was your first job, and when and why did you decide to become an astronaut? I've had several jobs. First, I was an engineer like my father and my grandfather. Then I was an astronomer in observatories. Then I went back to university and became a doctor, an MD, in the north of Canada with the Inuit. And when I heard that the CSA was recruiting astronauts, I tried because it was a dream. When I was a little boy, I would look at images of the Earth seen from space, and that always convinced me that that's what I needed to do, explore and study and be an explorer and understand things around me.
What is the best and worst thing about being an astronaut?
The best and worst thing? Well, the best thing about being an astronaut is that you're in space, so you can float and do anything you want. You can fly. The worst thing is that I cannot bring my family with me. I cannot bring my friends with me. I can show people photos. I can talk to you about it, but I cannot bring my friends here. So that's the worst thing.
Bonjour, David.
Hello, David. My name is Indra.
Super pour nous.
It's wonderful for us to work with you, and I have a question for you. Why is it important for children to participate to initiatives like AstroPi?
En fait, AstroPi, c'est vraiment parfait.
Really, AstroPi is really perfect to get familiar with computer science. I have one right here in the ISS, and the programs were designed by children like you. And don't be afraid of computer science. Kit Codes Jeunesse will have lots of advice. And last year, for the first phase of AstroPi, we were second, but I think that this year we could actually finish in first place.
Hi, my name is Joyce, and I'm asking a question on behalf of Zeal from Manitoba. If there's one thing you'd like the bright young minds of today to know, what would it be?
That's a great question. What I would like every child to know is that the future, our future, is in your heads. You are our most valuable resource. You are our hope and our future. Our future is in the minds of young people. It's their ideas and what they want to do with their own life and with the world we live in. Right now, maybe you feel very small and you don't know much, don't know what to do, but trust me, you are the future. And the future is whatever you want it to be.
Qu'est-ce qui arrive à quelque chose qui est aspiré
that is sucked in by a black hole?
Wow, ça c'est épeurant, hein?
That's frightening. So a black hole and something that is sucked in by a black hole cannot escape. It just sucked in and it is crushed and cannot come out of it. Even light cannot come out of a black hole. And that's why we call them black holes. When it goes in a black hole, it's gone, disappeared. Will be the most difficult thing to do when you return to Earth because of gravity. I think my biggest challenge will be to learn again how to walk. Of course, now I'm used to flying and move with my hands, really. When I'm going to go back to Earth, I'm going to have to learn how to walk without falling, without being sick. So I'm going to have to learn again how to use things. I'm going to have to put them on a table and not let them float. And some astronauts actually make mistakes like that, and I'll try not to make this kind of mistakes. What does a sunrise look like from the ISS? It's very beautiful because imagine you are in complete darkness and you can see a few lights on Earth, and then on the horizon you see a blue line and the atmosphere that becomes brighter, and then you have red and orange and yellow, and then the sun suddenly appears just like a light that comes on. So it's much faster than we see it on Earth. On Earth, it may take a minute, and here it's only a few seconds. Maybe for a couple of seconds, everything is orange, and then all of a sudden it's light. But it comes from the dark sky.
How many different roles are there on board the International Space Station? Are all of them required to keep the station running?
Oh, yes. Well, so the way the space station works, everybody is trained to do everything. So we can all operate the equipment around us. We can all put the spacesuit on and do a spacewalk. We can all operate Canadarm to maybe catch a free-flying cargo vehicle or make a repair outside station. But there's always one commander. And so the commander has a special role. They're responsible to make decisions in case of an emergency. And there's also the Soyuz, the spacecraft commanders for the Soyuz capsule that brought us to space station. That's another role. So all these roles are very essential, but mostly we're all trained for many years so that we'll be interchangeable and everybody can do pretty much everything. That's what's fun about being here.
Have you witnessed any unexplainable or weird things in space?
Well, often I lose things, and then I don't know where they are, and I look for them, and I look for them, and they always appear in the same place. They always appear in an inlet of the air circulation system. I know why, of course, because the air in station is always cleaned, so it's in the air here. It gets sucked into a cleaning system and then pushed back in. So anything that you lose always ends up after a few days stuck to one of those grids of the air intake of the cleaning system. So that's always kind of surprising. If you lose something, just wait 2-3 days, go see there, you'll find it.
Hi, I'm Lori, and I'll be asking this question on behalf of Elizabeth from Saskatchewan. How do you store food?
Food here, we store it dry. We don't have refrigerators, so most of the food we have is dehydrated, like camping food. I don't know if you've had that perhaps. So it's completely dry, remove all the water, and then we just add water to it, and it becomes normal food again. We also have some food that's in cans, just in normal cans, and then we'll warm up the can and eat it like a normal can. So that's basically the food we have. It's because we don't have a fridge and it takes a long time for delivery, we can only have food that can be kept like that on the shelf for about a year. Every so often, when we're lucky, maybe we get some fresh fruits or vegetables when there's a new spacecraft that comes, but that's a very rare event, and then we have a big special meal with fresh food.
Okay, so I think, do we have time for one more? One more question. It's your lucky day.
Bonjour, mon nom est Matthew, et je pose
Hello,
cette question
my name is
au nom
Matthew,
de Quebec.
and I'm asking this question on behalf of Oliver. How do you
dans
bathe and wash clothes in space?
Ah, pour se laver ici, évidemment,
Well, to
c'est
bathe
une bonne question,
here,
hein.
yes,
Alors,
very good question.
on peut pas prendre de douche, hein? Imaginez qu'est-ce qui arriverait si on prenait une douche ou un
Or
bain.
you
On
cannot
sortirait,
take
ça
a shower or a
machines,
bath
ça ferait
because
des problèmes électriques.
there would be
On peut pas.
water
Alors, on
on
se
the
lave un peu comme
machine,
on lave un bébé.
so
On
you'll
met un peu d'eau
wash
sur un
like you
bras
wash a
à la fois.
baby.
Après de l'eau sur
You
l'autre bras.
put a little bit of
Après, on lave une
water
jambe,
on
l'autre
one
jambe, le
one
visage,
arm,
l'autre
on
bord.
the legs,
Après ça,
then
on
the
se sèche un
face,
morceau à la
and
fois.
then
Donc, on se lave un peu comme on lave un
one
tout petit enfant.
little bit at a time.
Et les vêtements, en
And
fait, le
the
secret, c'est qu'on les
clothes,
porte très longtemps. On peut pas les
the
laver.
secret is
Donc,
that
on
we
les
cannot
porte
wash them,
plus
so
longtemps qu'on les porte
we
sur Terre.
wear
Mais ici,
them
on
a
dirait
long
qu'on
time,
on sue
longer
pas vraiment.
than
Alors, ça, c'est bien correct.
on
Et
Earth.
puis,
But
quand
we
ils
don't
sont,
really
quand
perspire
c'est temps de
here, so
changer,
it
on
doesn't
les jette.
smell too
On
bad.
s'en
And
sert
when
des
it's
fois comme
time to
matériel
change,
pour
then we throw them
empaqueter du
away,
cargo.
and we use them maybe to package things.
Okay, merci beaucoup, David. On behalf of everyone,
Thank you very much,
that's all
David.
the time we have for the link now, so we're going to bid adieu and say goodbye. On behalf of all the students here at Lord Selkirk, the staff, and especially all the participants in the AstroPie Challenge, we thank you very, very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Wish you all the success and a good mission for the rest of your remaining 4 or 5 months in orbit. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, everybody. And don't forget to follow your dream. Reach for the stars.
Thank you, everybody. And don't forget to follow your...
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event.
Thank you, Canadian Space Agency and participants. Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.